what's up, guys? Thomas back with another LinScents video. Today we're going to be discussing Hamidi fragrances, but before we get into that, just want to say thank you guys again. It is an honor to be playing on one of those electronic devices, whether it's that cell phone, that tablet, that laptop, that Macintosh, that brand new big screen TV, whether you watch me at home, at work, on a plane, a train, or an automobile. Maybe you watch me in the stands at a football game, a baseball game, basketball game, who knows? Maybe your team's just getting trounced right now, so you got nothing better to do than to watch a couple of these fragrance reviews. However, wherever you watch me, it is an honor. You guys are new to this channel. You like what you see, hit the subscribe button, comment, and like. Likes are very, very important. Go Brew Crew postseason. Here we come. Nonetheless, let's finally get into this fragrance. Hamidi, okay? We already did a few Hamidi fragrances, okay? But we might as well get to another one. Might as well. Why not? And this fragrance right here. Now, by the way, if you want some of those Hamidi fragrances, go to hamidi.us. You're going to use the discount code right down there. And you're going to get yourself a nice 25% off for like the next couple more weeks, okay? So go and take advantage of that. They also lowered the prices on some of their fragrances. I know some of you guys said, hey, you went on the website, the fragrance is kind of expensive. They slashed those, okay? And then also right now they have a buy 3, get 1 free. So, you know, if you guys can afford getting 3 of them to get that 4th free, go right ahead. But if you can only afford like 1 or 2 fragrances, definitely use the discount code. Save yourself some money. Also use some of that paying for, PayPal for. Use it. Use it. It's all there for us, okay? They're making it easier for us to gain these fragrances. Now, again, Hamidi got a store down there in Texas coming soon, Houston. Also, before you can get that fragrance, Triple Traders got discount codes there. We got discount codes to the Oud store as well. You guys know that's my favorite eBay seller. He's got his own little website as well. So go check out the discount codes down below. We'll put them throughout this video. Okay, so let's finally get into the fragrance of the day. Now, I actually wore this all day today, so I can kind of give you my full impressions of this. Now, maybe I should have worn it maybe in a cooler weather, who knows? But I feel like this fragrance, smelling it now today, I think it can be worn in pretty much any occasion. Maybe besides maybe going to the gym and just lounging around the house, but I think this is a very versatile fragrance. Okay, this is part of their prestige lineup, and this one is called Honor. Now, I believe you can have this one for about $70, and then with the discount code, you know, you get some more money off, maybe about 60, 45, 50, who knows? But I think it's pretty cheap right now, so go check it out. Again, that's Prestige, the Honor. Now, from what I'm told is that this is a pretty much like their inspiration of one Armani code. Okay, now, I must admit, again, during this fragrance journey, Armani Code has never been a fragrance in my collection. I've smelt it a couple of times, but, you know, at that time, I didn't know what it was, okay? So, again, I can't tell you if this is close, or it's super close, or if it's far away. But I can tell you if it smells good, if something I describe in here sounds like, hey, that is definitely Armani Code, then, yeah, you can go out and grab that. Now, when it comes to Armani Code, you can kind of get it at discounters for pretty cheap, okay? It's one of the fragrances that you can actually find pretty cheap right now, okay? The Armani Code, this is the EDT, the regular version, the one that came out in 2004, okay? The one that won plenty of awards, or so they say. Now, this one, again, this is their Prestige Honor, and why they would clone Armani Code, but then put it in this kind of pink, peach colored bottle, I have no idea, but this is their Honor. Prestigious Honor. But nonetheless, bottle is very nice and heavy, thick glass. You got this thick base too, just in case you drop it there, you can hit there, you're not going to lose any juice. And cap is actually pretty heavy, okay? And man, this is satisfying too. When it's in your car, just doing this all day is so satisfying. Cling! Makes me feel like I'm in one of those games where you got to press the buzzer. Boom! Thomas, what's the answer up on the board? Enough of the babbling. Let's get into this game. Now, I do know that the regular version has like some citruses, it has some star anise, it has some sage, has some tobacco, leather, or tonka bean. But I'm gonna waste a full spray on this right now, okay? What I got out of this fragrance, though, right off the back, was pretty much just a normal, clean, fresh, people-pleasing, non-offensive fragrance. That's all I got from this one, okay? Citrusy, kind of green, a little bit green from the sage and stuff like that. Didn't really get too much tobacco. Did get a little bit of that tonka bean right away because it does kind of come off sweet right away. Not like overly sweet, but you do get this sweetness right from the top with the citruses, a little bit of that green from that sage. But I'm going to show you the sprayer just so you guys can see. I don't think it's pressure sensitive, but it is. Okay, now, as you can see, when I sprayed it, it was more like a fine mist. And I think that's the problem with this sprayer, is that I think if this were to shoot out more juice instead of being more of a mist, I think it would, project a little bit louder, but that's what you get. You get a nice little mist, but it does sheen on the skin very nicely. Take a look at that sheen. Nice little skin tone right there too. Look at that. But nonetheless, when you first spray it, again, you get citrus, you get this green, earthy, kind of herby smell, and you get, honestly, I get some of that tonka, okay? In the whole scheme of wearing this fragrance, I didn't really get that much leather, okay, or tobacco, okay? But I did get that citrus, that green. Did get a little bit of that star anise towards the end of the fragrance. The longer it went, you kind of get little whiffs of the star anise, okay? But for the majority of this fragrance, from what most people will smell in this fragrance, is that citrusy, green, woody. You got some woods in here as well. You're going to get citrusy, woody, green notes, okay, in the air. Okay, that's what everyone is going to smell around you, okay? So again, it's going to be a people-pleasing fragrance, mass appealing, non-offensive. You can spray heavy. Maybe that first little sweetness might be a little bit too much for you, but if you sprayed this in your car and then went into work, you can do that without no problems, okay? Everyone's going to like the fragrance, okay? Here's the problem I'm having with some of these Hamidi fragrances, okay? This one is no different. They are quite noticeable on the skin, okay, throughout the day, okay? They are noticeable. However, I don't think they're loud enough for everyone else to notice, okay? So if that's one of your major selling points for when you buy fragrances, you're just looking for compliments, okay? If that's like one of your main things, you might want to stick away from these Hamidi fragrances. However, if you want some good longevity, good performance, great bottles, great smell, cheaper than what they're cloning, and you don't really care about, that super duper loud, big scent bubble, stuff like that. You don't mind not having the huge sillage or anything like that. As long as you can kind of smell it throughout the day on yourself, then you go out there and grab these. Okay, these are definitely worth the money for that reason. Now, again, if compliments are your thing, then you're probably going to want to stay away from these and get something that's a little bit more loud, something that's going to get more noticed, okay? But if you spray this like before you go into work, maybe like 10, 20 minutes before you go into work, and you get close enough to people are going to smell you, they're going to notice you, they're going to give you a compliment. Here's the thing about compliments too, real quick, before I get even more into this video, this review, okay? Again, compliments are not the end all be all when it comes to fragrances, okay? Just because you are getting compliments, okay, if people are saying this is my biggest compliment machine, okay, it just could be that it's a coincidence that when you're wearing those fragrances, no one else is wearing something, so when you walk by someone, they smell it, that's the only thing they notice, and you're gonna get a compliment. You smell great, okay? But again, not all compliments just from a single fragrance means anything. That could just mean, again, could just be a coincidence, okay? Now, there are some fragrances that just do it no matter what, but again, you might be wearing a fragrance, okay? Someone walks past you, they might have their own fragrance, they might smell their own self. You might be somewhere that's got coffee, just, coffee scent in the air, okay? And then some people just might not notice it, okay? So don't take not getting compliments a reason why you don't wear a fragrance. If you can smell it throughout the day, get little whiffs here and there, and it makes you happy, you like the way you smell, you keep wearing the fragrance, okay? You don't get rid of it because someone else didn't tell you smell good, okay? Again, you make the fragrance does not make you, okay? So those be some words of wisdom. Again, actually sprayed over here, but again, just green, citrusy, nice and herby kind of, okay. It's sweet. It's not overly sweet. It's kind of powdery almost, if you will. It's really clean. Again, I think this fragrance can be worn pretty much year round, besides maybe the blistering hot heat, because that punchy sweet opening right in the beginning might be a little bit too much. But if you were to wear this in high heat, you just spray this on, and then maybe you go outdoors maybe 20-30 minutes later, then you can probably wear it, okay? But this fragrance, I think spring, fall, winter, nighttime, daytime, it can be worn to work. I think it can be worn on a date night, just pretty much a casual date night. You can wear it. You can wear this to school. You can wear this in the office. I think this is a very versatile fragrance. Again, what I'm describing, that sounds like Armani Code, okay? Which I've seen some reviews on Fragrantica. People say performance is kind of just about 6 hours, and this is about what you're gonna get with this, about 6, 7, 8 hours, okay? It's about half the price if you're going based off of like retail, okay? Retail Armani Code is still pretty expensive, but if you can get it on discounters, then obviously I'm gonna tell you to just stay with the discounters and just get the real thing. But again, maybe you just don't have that Armani Code money. I think they're about $70, $80. This one you can have about 45 to 60 right now. Probably the same performance. I mean, you guys already know the bottle on Armani Code. That's like an iconic bottle. Looks very nice. This bottle also looks very nice as well. But we shall see if the wife, if she can smell this at all. Coming in here again. It is kind of powdery. That's where I kind of said it kind of got this powdery, fresh, citrusy.
Over there, actually.
You can smell that way over there?
Yeah, if this has a powdery scent, yeah, I can smell all the way over there.
Okay, so that pretty much takes away my theory of this fragrance. She said she can smell it from way over there, and that was about 15 to 20 feet. Now, she's probably going to get more of the back end of the fragrance and not basically everything that I'm getting, the citrusy, the green, the woody notes.
Yeah, I don't get that until I get really close to you, but that powder was strong.
So the powder part is strong. So powder part. But do you like the fragrance? It smells pretty good.
I don't like powder. And that, for me, that is very strong. I'm really only getting powder.
Okay. She's getting powder. Again, when I first sprayed it, and she was not in that area where she was smelling it first, okay? So she didn't really get the first initial blast of the citrus and the green, okay? So she's kind of coming in with the tonka bean that's kind of giving it that sweet powderiness that tonka bean usually does. Tonka bean is usually pretty sweet. That's why sometimes I don't like tonka bean in my fragrance, because it kind of comes off too sweet and sometimes kind of headache inducing, if you will. But again, when you spray this on, okay, and you start walking around the office and those woods and a little bit of that warm spice start creeping through.
Like a tea scent.
So she's smelling tea, so that most likely is probably that sage. Again, tea is kind of earthy, sage is earthy, so that's probably what she's probably getting, that sage, okay? Sage, citrus, little bit of that tonka bean. I don't really get leather in this fragrance or tobacco, but I do get the star anise later on in the fragrance. It gives it this warm little spice to it. But in the air, again, when I was smelling it throughout the day, I quite enjoyed this fragrance, okay? Again, I couldn't tell if anyone else was smelling it because no one said anything, but I was able to smell it. So again, if getting the compliments, having everyone be able to look at you and say, oh my God, you smell good, if that's really important to you, this might not do it. Although the wife said she did smell it that 15, 20 feet away. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I was just kind of going nose blind to it and I couldn't tell. And maybe, again, compliments sometimes are not going to be given just because you're wearing something. Again, sometimes people might just be afraid to tell you, hey, you smell good, okay? It's happened plenty of times, okay?
You should start a challenge, a compliment challenge.
You should do a compliment challenge. Even if they're not smelling good, if there's something nice about them, just give them a compliment, okay? Again, that is the thing about it. But, you know, It's the thing with the world today too. You can't you sometimes you can't say stuff without people getting offended. But again, I think if you just tell someone they smell good, they look pretty, or they look nice, their clothes look nice, you should be able to get away with that. Just don't take it no further unless it's consensual. Okay. Nonetheless, Hamidi Prestige, again, she smelled it about 20 feet away. That is literally 20 feet away. We are inside, okay? Now, again, once we get outdoors and the breeze starts hitting, this does smell a lot better than just powder, okay? Does get this greens, get this citrus, you get a little bit of that outdoorsy woodiness, okay? But again, you got to be into at least liking that the fact that you can smell it on yourself. Okay, you might not get a gazillion compliments with this. You might not get a gazillion compliments wearing the real deal. Again, it all depends on who's walking around you. Okay, again, this is probably anywhere between 40 and 60 bucks, give or take. Use that discount code if you want it. Okay, link it down below. Again, we got discount codes to tripletraders.com. We got codes to the oudstore.com, hamidi.us. Go check them out. Okay, again, this is supposedly Armani code, the EDT, the original, the 2004 release, the one that won plenty of awards. Now, again, with this being 2023, and there's all these different fragrances out there. Okay, obviously Armani code was out before Dior Sauvage. It was out before, I think, Blue de Chanel, the EDP. It was out before YSL. I mean, with all those other fragrances out there that are kind of similar, they do similar things, the green, the citrus, the fresh. It's hard to really tell people to go out there and get this one because, in my opinion, although it smells very good, I think Armani code might be a little played out. Now, if you don't mind wearing a played out fragrance, you think Armani code is still good, then you go out there and grab this. But man, when you smell like other stuff, like other fresh fragrances, Acqua di Gio Profumo, Acqua di Gio Profundo, stuff like that, stuff with a little bit more wateriness, a little bit more blue, this sometimes becomes a little bit irrelevant. Okay, but again, wear this for the nighttime. Okay, this is just like a regular casual date. Okay, boom, you rock this one out and you're all good to go. So there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Ooh, sorry it took a little bit too long, but hey, it's just a little bit of me rambling on and on. But nonetheless, again, 6 to 7, even 8-hour fragrance, maybe about an hour to 2, good projection. Again, you're gonna notice this throughout the day, and then around that 6 to 7 mark, it really does start getting closer to the skin, and then you gotta really kind of either get close or just reapply. So with that being said, I'm gonna get up out of here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video, and if you guys did, hit the likes, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace. Yeah.